Go home to your mother, Potter. Oh, sorry, you don't have one, do you?
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, one of the best-selling PlayStation video games of all time, selling 8 million copies by May 2003. It was Argonaut's best-selling game, above Croc Legend of the Gobbos. Despite this, many critics would put the game down for its jagged polygons and textures, citing issues with the frame rate drops. It got mostly average scores in reviews, with a Metacritic score of 64 out of 100. It's likely that if you owned a PS1 in the early 2000s, you either owned or played this game. So let's talk about it. Hello guys, gals and they thems. Welcome to the magical world of Harry Potter, a British literary phenomenon that grasps the minds of kids and adults alike. And with any successful IP, of course the video game tie-in is inevitable. EA Games bought the rights to create the games for the Harry Potter franchise, and while most movie tie-in games are usually complete crap, this one holds a special place on my PlayStation shelf. It was hard in the era of PS1 not to make human sprites that look like your sleep paralysis demon, but Harry Potter took this to a whole nother level. Each character looks comical, with their derpy stretched out faces. It's kind of endearing. The only character that seems to be safe from being slapped with the ugly stick is Hermione. If for whatever reason you're not familiar with the story of Harry Potter, I'll give you a brief summary of the plot. Harry Potter gets orphaned after his parents are attacked and killed by Lord Voldemort, a dark wizard. He attempts to kill Harry too, but the spell rebounds onto Voldemort, causing him to retreat after becoming weakened. Harry is then given to his maternal aunt, Petunia, to be raised, where he's stuffed in a cupboard under the stairs and treated worse than a dirty sock in your brother's bedroom. Who are you gonna call? Childline. 11 years later, Harry is invited to attend the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. He's sorted into the Gryffindor house by a talking hat, and he begins his adventure learning to be a wizardry wizard. The gameplay's pretty standard licensed PS1 content. You'll be able to explore the areas of the castle inside and out of the grounds, including the Forbidden Forest. There are a couple of collectibles to run after, including Bertie Bott's every flavour beans, in various colours depending on the area you're in. There's also famous witches and wizards cards to collect. Most can be found in hidden areas, the rest are rewards for doing good in the Gringotts Bank mini-games. You will learn new spells as you progress through the game, requiring you to pass a quick time event in order to master each spell. There's also Quidditch games to compete in. They control really well despite the lack of inverted controls, and are a fun break from exploring the castle. As fun as they are, however, the frame rate drop during the Quidditch matches are so bad I felt like I was playing my game on a potato. Sorry, potato. Go back in the mud where you belong. There's plenty of side quests and minigames with a fair bit of variety. Exploring the areas are mostly fun, except for the areas that require jumping for platforming. The jump button doesn't exist. Instead, you have to run to a ledge to trigger a jump. And that can be temperamental at the worst of times. Sometimes Harry won't jump because he doesn't feel like it. No! Fuck you, Harry. The music is fitting, it's got the magical musical essence going for it, and it felt somewhat familiar when listening to it. If for whatever reason, some of the music gave you some Elder Scrolls vibes, that's because it was composed by Oblivion and Skyrim's composer Jeremy Soule. You won't hear much of the music whilst exploring though. Instead you'll get ambient sounds of squishy creatures and magical nonsense. This music tends to kick in during minigame content. I don't know what these squishy beans are, but I love them and I wish to keep them as my pets, please. They are welcome to eat the weeds in my garden. So you're thrust into the castle of Hogwarts. You'll meet most of the recurring characters from the book and movie, including Peeves the Poltergeist. He was never featured in the movie, and I feel robbed. They were gonna have him voiced by Rick Mayall. Rick frickin' Mayall. Come on guys, Fred and George have the worst faces by far. I legitimately jumped in fear when I saw them. You'll spend your time running around Hogwarts solving puzzles and minigames, time trials to lessons and quick time events to learn new spells. Every QTE is completely out of sync. Initially I thought my capture card was delayed. Nope, it's kind of like Parappa the Rapper HD Remaster, where you have to make sure button inputs are a little earlier than the prompt. Not fun. You'll have a duel with Malfoy, with small cutscenes that are diabolically ugly and hilarious as the difficulty gets ramped up. The slippery prick had it coming. After that, you can go visit Hagrid in his hut. Yay! He will task you with normal things to do, like death-defying jumps over lava for some seeds or something. Pretty standard stuff to send a 12-year-old off to do. You'll get to meet Norbert after he's hatched from his egg, thanks to your assistance, and later on you'll get to explore the Forbidden Forest whilst on the hunt for an injured unicorn. It comes with fiery farting turtles. Most of the mini-games to earn cards are hidden behind secret entrances. See a skiddy bookcase? Mash that action button. None of the mini-games pose any real challenge, except for the minecart trials in Gringotts Bank. The random difficulty spike this ship pulls is unreal, especially for a game aimed at kids. I honestly lost the will to live when trying to get the gold galleons. Fair play to anyone that can get the collectible cards from these, as it requires the player to collect all the gems within the trials. Rage-inducing for sure. You end up going with Hagrid to Diagon Alley to withdraw some money and purchase items he needs for a potion to help Norbert. The 3 items each require you to complete a minigame to earn them. The worst one by far is the peacock feathers. They say they're bad luck, they're not wrong. Stupid fancy bird. Doesn't help that the frame rate in that challenge goes back to potato standards again. What the fuck? It's that potato again. Get out of my recording studio, you little bastard, or I'll deep fry you and turn you into chips. Anyway, you complete the mini-games and obtain the item needed to heal Norbert. And this is the point where we get thrust into the endgame of the story. Everything happens quite quickly, and before you know it, you'll be facing the final challenges in the run-up to fighting Voldemort. First up is the goodest of boys, Fluffy. Send him to sleep with some sequence button pressing aimed at each head, and he'll go to sleepies soon enough. The Devil's Snare is pretty easy, as it highlights the tendrils you need to strike, followed by a mini-boss on the final tendril. Next up would be the Key Chase, again, no real challenge and should be over quickly. On to the chess bit.
Harry, it's you that has to go on, I know it! Not me, not Hermione, you!
This bit kinda grates me. It's not chess at all. You just move one space in any direction you like in the hopes that the enemies will kill each other. When they kill an enemy, they commit Sudoku. And this part has 3 rounds. Next is an extra part, where you have to silently move objects out of the way of a groggy troll as he stumbles through the dungeon. He'll plummet to his likely death in the hole. After you murder the troll, you'll come across another extra section. This part is just a cup and balls trick, but with enchanted suits of armour instead of a ball. Pick the right one, beat up the walking tin can, drink the potion to go through the fire, and you'll move on to the final section. You'll finally face off against Professor Quirrell and his parasite friend. This boss battle is actually pretty good. First, you'll have to destroy some more enchanted suits of armour that he sends after you. He'll then summon a giant one for you to defeat too. A giant rock falls and nearly turns Quirrell into a human pancake, where he flees into the next room. On to the final battle. First, you'll knock down the pillars to squish him. Next, you'll have to utilise the Mirror of Erised to attack him using charged attacks. Once he's sick of your shit, he'll resort to good old-fashioned physical abuse and try to throttle you to death. This bit is questionable. That's a child, dude. Stop. After a bit of button mashing, you come out triumphant, and that's the end of the game. It will finish up with a scene in the Great Hall awarding Gryffindor as the winners for the House Cup, and young Harry looks dead chuffed. There's also a secret ending prior to the Great Hall scene. If you manage to get 100%, Ron hands you one of your own famous Witches and Wizards cards, and you get to face off against Slytherin in the Quidditch final. And that concludes the game. It's a fun little romp that doesn't take too much time out of your day if you fancy a nostalgic escape. I honestly thought I was going to hate every minute of it, only due to me playing it once when it was originally released and figuring the fond memories I had were through rose-tinted glasses. I can see why it sold so many copies, being the phenomenon it was at the time. As a story that appeals to children and adults alike, it's just a shame the IP was created by a toxic turf cockwomble. So that's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone on PS1. I've been Beck1, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!